Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 25 and the fifth one regarding our series of practice. This video is entitled, and this key is entitled Detox. What is detox concretely and what is the field of, let's say, application, implementation? This is what we're gonna define. And also I will give you some exercise, some tips to handle one detox. So what is detox concretely? Detoxification concretely is the fact to take out your toxin, literally, okay? This is a cleansing program, all right? So this is a kind of draining, okay? You clean up and you take it out. The toxin, actually, it's what obstructs concretely the good functioning of your body, of your organs. Where it's coming from, the toxins are from everywhere. It can be, let's say, self-produced, like stress, can be due to environment, like pollution. It can be due also to your hygiene of life, that's to say your food, okay, if you eat very fat and so on. Well, anyway, this affects your body and it's give more loads and more, let's say, it's affect the fluidity of the energy and so on. So normally the body is well done because, as Hippocrates said, the Greek, the father of the modern medicine, he say the natural force within us are the true healers. Okay, so what does it mean? It means we have everything inside if we respect the machine, let's say. For telling you, there is essentially three sources of natural detoxification. First, the main one is the liver. Second one is, are the kidneys, because it's the when you drain. And the last one is the immune system and also the digestive system. Okay, so but the most important is the liver. That's why we will have a focus point on it. So the problem is that normally they are supposed to moderate and to filter and so on. But if they are in bad states, in bad health, actually it will affect the functioning of filtering. Okay, it's like a machine, your washing machine. If you have too much let's say toxin in it, you cannot wash anymore. Okay, there is kind of no filter anymore. It is dangerous even for the electronic device. So actually what's the reason for being of a detox is this. First, to allow your organs, and this one essentially, to work efficiently, to clean up naturally. So the goal will be in a preventive, because once they function, they work properly, you will be always in good health. But if they are, let's say, untouched by toxin and so on, they will not function properly, and you will have a lot of toxin accumulated in the blood and in the cells and in the other organs, and it will be a vicious circle. Okay, so the objective is first to focus on this one, to clean them up, and then to maintain a good hygiene of life. Okay, so first, the efficiency of your main organs, for this effect, which are, I repeat voluntarily, liver, kidneys, and let's say digestive system. And then the second objective, which is implying, is the fluidity that you take back from the fluidity of the energy of your body. Okay, it allows you to have a better circulation of your energy in general. All right, and last but not least, because the quality of your life, the health impact your mindset and also your mood, globally speaking. If you don't eat properly, if you have a stressful life, if you have, for instance, you use and you abuse about drugs, alcohol, and so on, you have more chance to be depressed. Okay, so it affects your mood in that sense. And if you do a detox, it will affect positively. You will, let's say, you will be more able to raise your vibration, your frequencies, and thereby you are more in a process of awakening, globally speaking. That's why we say a healthy mind in a healthy body is vice versa. A healthy body brings a sharper mind, and you are more open with people. If you have disease, if you have a bad hygiene and so on, and thereby you're gonna be depressed, after that you're gonna compensate with substitute like alcohol, drugs, and so on. And then, you know, we will see a special key for that, for addiction. When you take drugs, alcohol, and so on too much, actually it's obstructs the connections, the links with your neurons, and especially those for the hormones of happiness. That's to say, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and so on, the 4 ones. Okay, so that's why there is a lot of people, they try and then they give up because they really feel bad. So this is like parameter, reparameter your metabolism and your mindset and so on. So that's why a detox is really important. Well, I'm gonna give you 14 different keys or tools or exercise for you to choose those who are more vibrating within you, or you can do different tests spread over time, of course, but 7 of them are for, let's say, food, and 7 of them are for behavior. So let's start with the first one. This is what we call mono diets. What is it? Mono, unique, one only. Okay, it is for using exclusively, so one ingredients. So for example, you will focus and only eat during certain period of time. It can be 1 day, can be 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 21 days. Okay, a detox normally we recommend 3 days, 2 or 3 days maximum. Okay, can be 7 days. For this one, it can be 7 days. So the first type of detox is this one. You only eat, for instance, vegetables, but the good ones. For instance, artichoke, asparagus, coriander, carrots, cabbage, beets, spinach, black radish, garlic, celery, ginger, turmeric, avocado. Okay, so you focus more on this one, and I invite you to do the test with 7 days, and then you only eat that. No meat, no other things, no, nothing, only that. Okay, you can cook, of course, and you see, you observe how you feel afterwards. Most of the time, we feel refreshed. At the beginning, maybe we can feel a little bit dizzy, we don't have so much motivation, we feel a little bit weak. Because you are detoxifying, you can have some headache and so on. It's possible, it's normal process. The more you have headache, the more it's better. It means that you have a lot to take it out, okay? So I invite you to do the test. Then you can do a second test, another time, with only fruits, mono diets with only fruits, and especially pineapple, lemon, grapes, what else? Apple, goji, and so on, okay? So I invite you to do the test. Another type of detox is separate, is, for instance, to try 1 week without meat. As I explained in the food part, in the key 4, first is not very ecologic, okay? So for ecology, it's good not to eat so much meat, even for health, okay? All nutritionists now recommend to avoid meat every day. Okay, this is hyperconsumption society who push us, and especially after the Second World War and so on, after scarcity and so on. Yeah, but now it's finished. Okay, so they demonstrate, the scientists, the doctors, and so on. There is a lot of paper regarding that. It's better to eat if you can afford to avoid. It's even better if you compensate with proteins and so on. But if you really love that, it's better only to eat 2 or 3 times per week only. But in this detox program, I invite you to do a test of only 1 week. If you can afford 21 days, because it's good. 21 days is the duration for your body integrate literally a change of routine, for instance. And you analyze how you feel. If you squeeze, I have no vocation for you to become veg or vegetarian, whatever, I don't mind, okay? It's more for you. And also some people, they just eat sometimes, occasionally, they are vegetarian, and they eat occasionally when they feel it, when they need it, they just eat once a month some meat. It's fair enough, you know, it's really up to you, and especially depending on the quality of the meat, the way it has been killed, the way it has been also feed and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is important to try this experience. Another detox is detox of alcohol. Okay, let's try to do it 1 week. If you cannot afford to do 1 week, it means that you have a problem with alcohol. Okay, you know, a lot of people ignore the fact they have a problem, a trouble with alcohol. A lot of people. No need necessarily to be a drunkard, to be completely drunk to have a problem of alcohol. If you drink alcohol every day, like 1, 2, 3 glasses and so on, it's not good at the end for you, and it's a kind of dependence. I know it because I lived 10 years in Shanghai. It's a very dynamic city, and when you are in entrepreneurship, companies and so on, you have clients, you have suppliers and so on. A lot of people are, you know, golden people. They love to go out and so on and so far. This is easy. Almost every night you have an occasion to go out, then you drink on the weekend, and then you drink almost a little bit every day, and then you have difficulties to stop, and it affects your motivation, it affects your quality of sleeping, and so on and so forth. And especially when you eat in what we call Anglo-Saxon way, that's to say you are drunk every weekend. Okay, but the day after you handover, you don't have motivation to do anything, and then by the Sunday you don't do anything. You just lay down on the sofa like this, and then sometimes Wednesday you want to celebrate because to cut the week, and it is quite frequent. Okay, so I'm not saying that you will become a monk tomorrow, but at least if you can afford to reduce this and to do the test only 1 week without alcohol and see how you feel. And if you can afford 21 days, okay, do a test, a challenge if you want. Try to do a detox, another detox on the liver with what? The radish, okay, the black radish, okay. You can find this in a pharmacy, in a drugstore and so on, or you can ask to your doctor or your nutritionist if you have and so on. But it is good, it's one of the best one to clean up the liver. Another one is to use sulfates of magnesium, okay. It's also called salt of Epsom, okay. So sulfate of magnesium you can find easily. It doesn't cost so much. It's something like $1, €1 for 20 grams. So concretely, you put 20 grams in a bottle of water. The taste is absolutely horrible, awful, okay? But you can compensate if you put some lemon and so on. But it's awful, honestly. When you drink that, for 5 seconds, you almost have a vomit feeling. But anyway, it's good for health. So you do just 1 glass. So you drink the 1 water, the 1 liter over 6 hours, for example. 1 glass, then 1 hour later another glass, and so on. And 6 glass normally you drink 1 liter, okay? And then you're gonna establish a romance, a beautiful proximity with your toilets. Why? Because it allows you to go to toilets, okay? So if you have problems of constipation, is excellent, of course, but you will clean up, and also especially some fecal matter which is stuck in your pipe, let's say literally in your intestine, okay? And it's obstruct the good circulation. You know that in the digestive system, okay, intestine and so on, are the second brain, and this is also the seat of emotions, okay? So, and assimilation and so on. So This is really, really important. And a lot of people, they feel depressed, they feel in bad mood, they don't have good energy and so on due to that, okay? So that's why I really invite you to do it, but ask the permission also to your doctor. Another one, another detox, which is excellent, is fasting, okay? Fast, but not furious, okay? Joke aside. Actually, there is different types of fasting. You can use, for example, for one day, for 1 week, and so on, to eat exclusively some smoothie or some, let's say, fruit juice. Okay, why is different than eating only? Because you chew and you have to digest. When it's a juice, your body doesn't have is like holidays for your body. Okay, so it's good. Personally, I practice almost for 20 years. Every Sunday, I don't eat at all. During 24 hours, I don't eat from Sunday night, Saturday night to Sunday night, and I don't eat anything. Okay, and why? Because okay, you have a day off minimum per week. You have also the opportunity to give a day off to your stomach and your digestive system, and you will see how you feel, and also you will love food after that. Okay, but try to do it just 1 day or 3 days or 7 days to drink only smoothies or juice. Okay. Another detox and fasting is intermittent fasting. Concretely, what is it? You squeeze one meal or 2 meals, and or you just have a certain duration during you eat. For example, 2 or 3 hours. Okay, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock you eat, and after that you don't, and the morning and the all day long you don't. Okay, or it can be, I don't know, you eat from 12 noon till 3 o'clock, and then you stop. Okay, or you can enlarge, and it can be from 12 to 5, and by 5 p.m. you stop, and then you squeeze the breakfast and so on. Same, we recommend at the beginning of our education to have a heavy breakfast. Not necessarily. Okay, not necessarily. It depends on the metabolism. By the way, breakfast comes from there. Is the fact to break your fasting during the night. Okay, so I invite you also to do a fasting specialized on grapes. Okay, is 8 days. It comes from South Africa. It was a person who had the cancer of the stomach, and she did that for 8 days, exclusively 1.5 kilos, 2 kilos of grapes, organic if it's possible, and actually she cleaned up completely. I did it personally. It's not so difficult because if you eat 1.5 to kilos, you can imagine that you eat roughly 8 times a day. So you never really feel empty, and you are not suffering about to be hungry actually. So, but it's good also. It's detoxifying your skin and so on. Then hydric fasting. What is it? It is with water. Okay, you don't eat at all for 1 day, 24 hours or 48 hours, and you only drink water. Okay, do the test. You can do. You can not eat. I mean, to just eat on night or just the lunch, and you only drink water in the meantime, and you do it over 7 days, for example. Okay, then you can also do exactly the same. This is what we call a dry fasting, okay, which is without water and any liquid, tea, and so on. This is the principle of Ramadan, okay, for Muslim. By the way, if all the culture almost have it, Ramadan for Muslim, Lent for Christian, Yom Kippur for Jewish, the Buddhist and Hindu also have, okay, it shows that there is a good reason. The animals, when they are sick, they fast naturally. Okay, so it shows that it brings, because when you fast, you activate the process of self-cleansing actually. That's why it's so important. And last but not least, regarding fasting, I invite you, I started in 2015, and actually I did for the first time is 3 days. You don't eat at all for 3 days. Okay, so 72 hours. So for example, you start, you have your last dinner or lunch Sunday, and you will start back to eat on Wednesday night. Or if you stop for lunch, you will start back for lunch Wednesday. Okay, but 72 hours, you only drink water, like 2, 3, even more, pure water, nothing more, no coffee, no tea, nothing. Okay. It is difficult, it's challenging, especially the first day, the second day, because it's sad also, you know that we go to bed without eating, so it's difficult. But this is the third day. The third day, there is an activation. You take, you clean up completely your old cells, like especially white cells. So it has two functions. It's reboost entirely your immune system. Secondly, is reboost. I mean, it relaxes your digestive system. So after that, after 3 days, honestly, you feel refreshed. You see better. Your skin is more beautiful. You are shining. You are vibrating, and so on. And you cannot imagine how gorgeous, how amazing it is to eat. Even the cucumber that normally you don't eat and you put aside and so on, you don't like, you love it. Okay, so it's like also a kind of a way to relove life. Okay, it's like you stop an habit, you don't have it anymore, you break your hands, and then you see how it is good to have, to be completely, to be healthy. You break your leg, how good it is to be able to walk, basic things like this. But just the fact to eat, and a lot of time you say, oh no, again, oh I don't like, and so on. You will never say that anymore after the 3 days. I invite you also to do another technique. The 8th one is sweating. Okay, sweating, hammam for Arabic culture, or sauna. Okay, it's different ones, but it's hot temperature. Okay, for hammam is 55 degrees most of the time, and is humid. And for sauna is dry. Okay, so it's very warm, very hot, and you sweat a lot. If you cannot afford, you can also, for example, go to run and you put a polar fleece, for example, you will sweat like crazy. I do it once a day. It's very hot here, it's 30 degrees almost of the year long. So, and then I feel really taken out, because 20% of our toxins are taken out through the fact to sweat. I invite you also to do also with breathing. Well, breathing, I will not repeat what I referred to you to go to the key number 3, the key regarding breathing. Okay, so holotropic breathing, shamanic breathing, rebirth, and so on, hyperventilation. All these techniques allows you to take it out the toxin, and 70% of the toxin are, let's say, throw out through the breathing. Okay, so it's extremely important. Another one is a detox of mobile phone. Okay, it's really important. Most of the time, with the app, the pop-up, and so on, we are always in it. Okay, so it's good. Personally, most of the time, I just I switch off my mobile. By the way, it's not mine now. You can see there is people around me. So I switch off my mobile, and actually I'm not available at 7 o'clock. Even my friends and so on, it's funny sometimes to share things and so on. No, I just want to be with my family. I'm watch my movies and so on, and I just take it easy like this. Okay, it's a question of choice. Same for my employees here in Bali for our retreat center. Also in Shanghai with my staff. When we have a meeting, it's like you put your gun at the entrance of the coffee in a saloon in States. I mean, in the cowboy period, it's the same thing. I invite people gently to say, okay, switch off, and you are not available. 30 minutes, we just discuss. And it's honestly, it's the practice of mindfulness. Okay, we are too much enslaved by this technology. It doesn't mean that it is bad. It's just like what we will see after. Social network is like a knife. A knife, if you don't have good intention, you can kill people, depend on the user. Okay, but you can also cut your food. You can do arts and craft. You can do some I mean, some buildings and so on. You can do things, and you can also kill. Okay, so it's for living and it's also for killing. It depends on you. So a mobile is just to reconnect people. Okay, but you can also switch off sometimes. It's very good and really appreciable. I invite you to do a test. Personally, I did 12 days when I was in a shamanic retreat in Mongolia. It was in 2016, and I was already at this period. I was CEO for. I was obliged to check my email and so on, and I did. And I was at the beginning is a little bit difficult. The first day, second day, and so on, and then it's a habit. And honestly, it is kind of kind of freedom. It's really appreciable. Another one is the social network. Social network, if you are on all of them, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on, YouTube, and so on, and you're on the quest of the like of the picture and so on, it's like, up and down all the time. And it can affect your mood and affect your attention. On average, in the Western countries, most of people use social network in between 2 and 4 hours. So imagine 4 hours, it's 24 hours per week. It's enormous. It's one day. Or even 2 hours, it's 12 hours. It's a lot. Okay, so, and to see 14 hours, sorry. If you see, and the other one is 24 hours, 28 hours, sorry. If you see, it can be interesting. There is a lot of good Facebook group and about spirituality, about the passion you have, if you like golf, if you like surfing, if you like, I don't know, whatever, arts and craft, whatever, music. It's really interesting. And in parallel of that, there is also a lot of debates, fight, and so on. Honestly, when I analyze the social network, I see more fragmentation, 70% are negative, and only 30% are positive, and a large perspective of people and so on, and especially on social, on spirituality Facebook group. So, and it can be dangerous. Honestly, the manipulation with the social network is super huge, and with the fake news and the fact information can be spread over the world in 1 second is extremely dangerous. Okay, one of the social media, let's say, encourage, not voluntarily, of course, but what's happened, the situation in Myanmar. Okay, so it is concerning, or even impacting the elections. It has been the case and proved. I invite you to watch the documentary Hacked, Great Hacker, or Great Hack, something like this. And the other one is social media. You see the impact on people, and even the creator of Twitter, finished the interview, the former creator, the former CEO, the creator, he said, what's the issue of the situation, for example, of states? He said, maybe a civil war. So imagine how it is separating people, because it's the polarization according to the algorithm. The algorithm push you in the fruit of research, your research. So if you are more right side or left side, you will always have some pop-up for you to be, let's say, confirmed in your opinion. So there is sterile, in a certain extent, debates nowadays. And also, people are less and less tolerant. So social media, honestly, be careful, be aware. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a question of using and to take care about what, and this is also for the next one. Rumi said, the real knowledge is to know what you have to ignore. Okay, so the same for the another detox, the 12th one, which is news, newspaper, and so on. Do you need to know that there is a murder now in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, or in the middle of Cape Town in South Africa, or in the suburb of Mumbai, and so on? Do you need to see that, the image and so on? For what? For the pleasure to feel embarrassed and so on? The media, there is a quest of buzz. Okay, it's not they are bad and so on. It's just there is a buzz, that is an offer and demand. So even the COVID, let's say, it started from very small, And immediately it impacted after a few weeks the stock exchange and so on, completely without any reason at the beginning. At the beginning, I'm just saying. So it has been, let's say, we have been overwhelmed by images and so on. And then people creating fear. The egregore of fear has been really reinforced, and the doubt and the fake news and so on and so far. And it really collapsed the awakening, definitely. Okay, so it's a question, that's why I recommend, that's why I put online also the 30 keys of happiness, in order to rise your vibration, your frequencies, because if not, if you are just focusing and watching news, just want to suicide. Because the way is not, the news are not the reality. In the sense that it's not manipulated, but it is oriented. Because if you only focus on negativity, of course, people will say, oh, what a fucking word, which is a matter of fact. You know, I did an experience when I was in Shanghai. My office had a vision of France. So I used to go back 2 times a year, and I went to my tent center, and I took some picture, especially I select, especially with very sad landscape, or for instance, some always raining period and so on and so forth. And I show them, and I broke their dreams, and they say, how come it's possible? And then I went back 6 months later with beautiful sun, taking beautiful buildings and so on, and they say, wow, what's the gap? So if I start my investigation saying, okay, I'm a journalist and I want to prove that this place where I'm from originally is horrible, I will show this like this, okay? And if I want to see the beautiful side, I will show it also. So this is important to be aware. There will be a special key to help also to have this capacity to select, to criticize. Crisis in Greek, it means to select. It means to separate. It's not necessarily negative. It's negative or positive, but just to choose and to know what is fake, what is real, and so on. Because we are overwhelmed, and it will be worse and worse. Because now's the day you have some videos. You can make me say whatever you want, okay? And it's really concerning. So if tomorrow a president declare a war to, I don't know, another country, it can be a fake news. You see, so it's, we can reuse former picture and so on. And you can make Hitler still alive, and receiving, for example, the Prize Nobel. You see, the Peace Prize Nobel, for instance. So it's quite concerning. So we have to be aware about that, and we have to know how to switch off sometimes. It's good for health and our mind health, okay? Because everything is somatic. So if you are always seeing negativity and so on, you reduce your vibration, and thereby you have more chance to be in bad health in general. And you are not in a process of awakening, because awakening is a process of ascent. Okay, so ascent doesn't mean fly in the sky. It's just to rise your vibration, okay? And you are lighter and lighten. This is this, okay? So it's better to preserve yourself. It doesn't, you can be lucid. Lucid means that you are aware about the fact that the world is what it is, and we can improve it practically by action and so on. This is what we will see later. But globally speaking, it's good to preserve a little bit and more focus on the positive sides. Well, another detox I invite you is a detox of speech, okay? What you have to say is not more beautiful than silence, so refrain yourself, okay? So I'm gonna start now. No, I'm kidding. But it's good to do a test for 3 days, for instance. You go alone, or you say to your, on holidays and so on, you say to your family, okay, silent, and you can have to indicate to people, and you do the test. You will see the experience is really amazing. It's really tremendous. I invite you to do the test. And last one is to do a social detox. What is it? Try to do a retreat of 7 days, of 3 days, 7 days, if you can afford, or 10 days, Vipassana. Vipassana is with centers and it's free. You can check online Vipassana retreats, and it's no need necessarily to go to India or Sri Lanka and so on. Most of the country in States, in Canada, in Italy, in France, in Portugal, in many countries they propose. And if you don't have, just go to, I don't know, in the countryside with your tent and so on in the middle of nowhere, and you just stay alone. Alone is very important, alone, silent for example, and it will be an inner gazing, an inner work on which you will discover a lot of things. You remember, as the Greek philosophy said in Delphi, know thyself and you will know the secret of gods and the universe. Okay, so I really invite you to do it. Most of people, they don't know personally, they don't know themselves, they don't know thyself, okay? And I invite you to do it. It will change your life radically. Personally, I do it. Last one was in October. I do it once a year, 3 days, without family, without nothing. I don't have any technology, I don't have electricity, nothing, and I just meditate. I just meditate, I just observe, I'm just connected to nature. I can chant, I can, except if it's silent, but try this experience, adapt, adjust. If you think 3 days is too much, only 1 day is already great. But at least 1 day, 2 days you can sleep alone and so on and so forth. And normally will bring you calmness and more detachment about reality, life, and so on. All right, these are different exercises. I invite you to do some of them, those who vibrate, and to adjust, to fine-tune according to your expectation, your feelings, and so on, your guidance, and so on. Well, this detox is just one key among a lot of them. You are shaping your own master key, and then you will open up the doors that you want for opening the gateless gates of consciousness. Well, as you know now, all the roads lead to Rome and home. Thank you for your attention and see you very soon.